Welcome to the Unsexy Businessmen podcast. If you can name what I am ripping up right there in the comments, I will give you our course for free. Don't say it, Aaron. Do you know what it is? Like, welcome to Unsexy Businessmen.
Is
Anyways,
that Smartless?
No, don't say it out loud. Don't say it
Oh.
out loud. Don't.
I'll
text you offline. Today, we're talking about books. We're talking about books, and we're talking about, well, first off, welcome to the Unsexy Businessmen podcast. I'm your host, Alex Skinner. As always, I am joined by my brother, Aaron Skinner, and today we're chatting about books and why you shouldn't burn them. Just kidding. We're not going to get political. We know that we got a little bit political with our Bad Bunny podcast, but we're talking about the books that have helped us with business building. Now, there are books that on my list that aren't necessarily like great for business building, but are good just for like thinking about life. And I think that helps just in general, making your business better. Like, oh, this helped me in life and thus has helped me in other ways. So the way that I was thinking we'd go about this, Aaron, is we would just ping pong back and forth.
Okay.
You'd share a book, then I share a book, back and forth. I did want to start with honorable mentions because I have two that I'm not going to go super in depth on. They're just good reads. And then I'll let you go with some if you have honorable mentions. But I have four books that I think are essential. Honorable mention, Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday. The title gives away the entire thing. If you want to go read the book and see the stories and the examples that he provides and the frameworks, I don't think that has actually, he went to Granite Bay, I believe. He's from Rockland, lives super close to some people I knew growing up. I don't know why.
He had no obstacles. He grew up with money.
I know, seriously. So essentially the thesis of that book is like, life is hard. And so you just like, you got to keep on going. The second honorable mention is one of my faves just for entrepreneurs is Shoe Dog by Phil Knight, the founder of Nike. Or Blue Ribbon Sports, whichever you want to. What is that? What it's called? Blue Ribbon. I forget what it was called before.
Was it
before Nike?
I didn't even know there was some
Blue
before.
Ribbon Nike. Okay, that's not helping at all. Anyways, this is perfect. This is great podcasting, Alex. I just really enjoy listening. Like that story is great because you don't realize how much time he spent doing this, and like essentially starts off as a running shoe company, explodes into a full athletic shoe company, especially with Michael Jordan joining the team, and creates a entire separate brand. He ends up buying out the brands that he was competing against, like Converse, to now be anyways. So I just love seeing him go from like just destitute, struggling to make payroll, all of these problems, like the first like 15 to 20 years, and then just success after spending time on it. So there's my honorable mentions. Highly recommend.
So before I do my honorable mention, because I only have one, is kind of, I wanted to point out what you said in the beginning is like, yes, these are business books, but they're not all of mine are business books either. It's one of the things we talk about a lot is the first thing you have to take care of before you can have a successful business is yourself. So if you're like in a bad spot mentally or like relationship wise, or those, it's just going to make building a business that much harder. And so a lot of the books that we're going to be talking about maybe aren't exactly business oriented, but you do have to take care of yourself first. And then you can, once you have that established, you can start way more easily build a business. Oh, okay. So sorry. I don't really have an honorable mention, but I'm just going to say my honorable mention is the Bible, filled with great quotes.
My joke was also going to be a Bible reference. It's going to be the Book of Job. The Book of Job and all the suffering that you have to go through in your life as a business owner.
I say Deuteronomy and all the stuff that's in Deuteronomy. No, that's sure. We're not making fun of the Bible, so we don't want to offend anybody. It's got a lot of great principles. I still tell my kids, treat people the way that you want to be treated. That's a lifelong lesson that you should always do in personal life and in business.
My favorite thing that's like not in the Bible though.
It's not actually in the Bible. Well,
yeah, there's like no like do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. Like that's not.
I thought that
like,
wasn't the Bible.
Someone called me out on it, and
no,
that's why
it's the thing that's not in the Bible is like
The golden rule?
No, the golden rule I believe is 2. The one that's not in the Bible is like, oh my God. Oh, he never
Oh,
said it would be
Luke.
easy. He said it would be worth it.
Oh, that's the one. That's the one.
Yes.
That's the one.
That's
Yep.
the
And then
quote to Jesus that he never actually said.
Luke 6:31. So yeah, you were correct.
Yeah. I was like, I'm pretty
And
sure that was in
Matthew.
there.
A lot of New Testaments.
Good.
I was
So
wrong.
that is a good one. But the whole, what I just said, but I already forgot, is not an actual Jesus quote. It's a Albert Einstein quote. Because everyone did like smart quote like Albert Einstein once said. That was the one he's most famously misquoted for is the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Never said it. Albert Einstein never said that.
This might be the best time to discuss that thing. Why do you think, like, because we're talking about books and essentially these are all from authors that, like, we could say, like, oh, this person said this thing because we have the book right here. Why do you think that is? Like, why do you think it's Gandhi? But why do we choose those people? Like, it's always, it's like you said, it's like always Albert Einstein. It's like, all right, so this mathematician, that's who we're going to for wisdom. Like, why did we decide that was okay?
Because he is the same reason someone says I'm no Albert Einstein, because he's like synonymous with like genius. And so if a genius says it, then it must be true, which is, I mean, we can totally get into something way off. We're going to go way down somewhere else because, he's great at science. He was great at math. Just because you're really good at one thing doesn't mean you're great at everything. That's why it's also like when this is the same, goes back to like celebrities giving their opinions on political stuff or whatever. Like Ricky Gervais said it best. You know nothing about the real world. Just keep things you don't know anything about to yourself. Like you don't know what's actually going on. But I think there's just something like, oh, if someone's really smart in one aspect, it's, Elon Musk is great at tech businesses. So anything he says must be really smart because Elon Musk is really smart. Now, he might be very well read and maybe he is smart in other aspects, but just because someone is just known as a smart, entrepreneur or business person or athlete or whatever it is, any celebrity, doesn't mean they're really, really smart in every aspect of life.
And I don't understand why people like listen to that. Like, to be fair, like I think I fell prey to that a lot of times.
Oh, yeah.
Like growing up, like when I was in my younger age. But I do feel like over the last couple of years, I'm just like, I guess I said that like on our Bad Buddy podcast, where I'm just like, none of these people care about me. Why do I care what they think? Like, entertain me, clown.
And they're probably also on the Epstein list. So let's be real here. They're not good people.
but sorry I derailed this right there. But books, what book do you got?
Okay. My first book is, I read this so long ago. I had to go back and, it's interesting. You and I talked about this last week. It's interesting the books that you read, maybe it was a long time ago, and you don't realize how much it's actually influenced you in a lot of your just how you operate. But funny enough, speaking of influence, it's called How to Win Friends and Influence People. Now, the thing I like about this book, so real quick, it's not how to win friends and manipulate people. It's how to influence people. And like it sounds weird, but I think influence just sounds weird. But the whole point of the book is just be a good listener. Is like one of the main things. And I wrote down this, I typed it down because I wanted to remember. This was a quote that I liked a lot. It's that you can make more friends in 2 months by becoming interested in other people than in 2 years by trying to get people to be interested in you. And I think this is so true. Dude, it's so true in business too. But like just in life, if you're super passionate about something and you're trying to make someone else get passionate about that, it almost never works and people just don't really care. Then you're just the weird gym guy. Like if I'm just constantly telling you like, all right, so at the gym, I found out this new thing and I've been watching it. Like some people aren't into that and or whatever it is. But if you really want to like make real friendships and this is hard too when like kind of we're getting up in age and it's hard to make new friends. If you take a genuine interest in what's going on in people's lives and what they're interested in, you're going to be able to build a relationship so much faster than trying to convince them why, watching the Super Bowl is the greatest thing ever or whatever, or going fly fishing or whatever it is. it's just really powerful. But the key is genuine. Like you can't be the person who's like asking questions just so you can ask the question. So then you can, like you said before, Alex, like you can get back to talking about myself. Yes, exactly. So that's, oh, sorry, I hit that. Hopefully that wasn't too loud. So that was one of the big ones that I like. The other one too that I liked, I have to make sure I'm saying this right too. This was really interesting. So I remember reading this, and it was one of those things like, what is the most powerful word that you can use in sales? And like, that's like sex. It's got to be sex, right? Sex is like sex or something along those lines, really provocative, whatever. The most powerful word you could use is somebody's name. So if you can refer back to them, and you'll notice this too, when you're having a conversation with somebody, and especially like any sort of business relation, and they use your name while they're talking to you instead of buddy or don't ever say your name. There's some people love their name. People love to feel important. So when you hear somebody say your name and they repeat back to you your name and things like that, and again, this doesn't have to be business. This can be in any relationship. If you're using someone's name, obviously you're not going to be like constantly saying their name. They'd be weird about it. But it was interesting. That is like one of the most powerful words you can use in business or in relationships at all is using somebody's name. It just, there's a internal thing that you have that automatically almost like makes you want to keep listening to this person because they're using your name. So that I always thought that was interesting. I always thought it would be some other, some other keyword or something like that. I'm trying to think. What are the other notes that I had? So all right, I guess we don't want to talk a super long time about each book, but that was like the main thing. And this has helped me so much because I feel like I'm pretty good at when I'm having a conversation with someone, I can ask questions and find out what they really like, why they like it. Another thing too, this actually isn't even in the book, but like when you're meeting somebody new, instead of just like, hey, how are things going? What's going to be their response? Good. Everything's good. But if you ask, hey, hey, do you have any projects you're working on right now? Or like, what did you, instead of just like, did you have a good weekend? Like, hey, what did you do this weekend? Oh, why did you do that? And then follow-up questions, figure out how the person actually is. Again, this works great in business. When you're getting to know a client, you want to actually get to know them. And it's not just so you can mark this off. It's so you can anticipate needs. You can understand people's personalities. You become like a friend to that person, and they're way less likely to want to go get a quote from someone else or leave you if something gets messed up. It's just building those interpersonal skills is so important. Again, not just for business, but just in life, where people like to be around you, as opposed to you're the person who just constantly talks about themselves and you feign interest in some of their interests. Like, listen, I mean, Alex witnessed this one time. I know I said you have to be genuine, but I genuinely was trying to understand why someone was so interested in the Kardashian show. Like, I have zero interest in the Kardashian show. I don't care what's going on in their lives at all. But this person loved watching, what is it? Meeting the Kardashians? I don't even know what the name of the show is.
Keeping Up with the
Kardashians. And so it was more of just like, for me, it was more interesting. It's like, I have zero interest. I don't know why people do. Let me find out why this person finds it so interesting. It's what you'd normally think, because people like having drama in their life, even though they already have drama in their life. They like seeing other people's drama, whatever. So you could still ask questions about things you don't give a shit about at all and have a good conversation without actually being interested in that thing, but you're genuinely asking questions to figure out why they like those things. So that's another, I'm trying to think if that was, I don't know if that was actually in the book, but that's another thing that I like ask genuine questions, follow up, and have an actual interest in what people are doing. And that's just going to help you with life, with business, with whatever you're doing. But How to Win Friends and Influence People, love it. Love that book.
And it's more fun.
Yes.
Like having conversations like that.
Yes. You can have legit conversations instead of what you don't want to do in conversations is, while someone's talking to you, be thinking of
the next
the next thing, or how can I apply this to what I actually want to talk about? keep the conversation going. Let them keep talking. If there's a good segue to where there's some common ground with something, like, oh, the Kardashian, you want to know what, and then have you seen this show or this show or this show? If they say yes to one of those other options, then you can start talking about something that maybe you're actually interested in, but they are also interested in it. Don't just be like, oh, you like the Kardashians? Great. Hey, did you watch Ozark? No, I'm going to talk to you about Ozark now. Like, it's just finding that common ground is really powerful.
We've been rewatching Schitt's Creek because of the passing of Catherine O'Hara. Catherine O'Hare?
I think it's O'Hare.
Oh my gosh. I feel like it's Catherine O'Hare, right?
Yes.
And that's like, it's Johnny Roast, the dad in the show. Like, that's like his thing, is he's like a very self-aware of other people and like what they are doing. And he's already, I think we've watched like 7 or 8 episodes, like 3 times, like, oh, we're doing this. But that is now the way that I respond to people when they want to just talk about something and they pretend to include you in it. Makes me really dislike the people, and it makes me so upset that other people like don't pick up on it. Or maybe it's to your point, like, it's hard to make friends in your adulthood, so you're kind of stuck with some people.
Yes, exactly.
But speaking of what you were just talking about, the speed of trust is so building trust with people. This is building trust with teams as well as with clients. The reason that I think I've mentioned this book before on the podcast, I don't have anything that I'm going to pull from any of my books. I'm just going to give like general why I love it. The framework is pretty awesome. It gives you the step-by-step process. They also have like these cards that accompany with it, so you can do what's it called? So you can do the framework with your teams to like build up that trust. But at the end of the day, the thesis of the book is the more everyone trusts each other in a relationship, the faster things can get done. And what is interesting is I went through this literally today with a client. New client, has some concerns about how their account was ran previously to us onboarding them. Because of reading the speed of trust, I understand like this isn't someone who is annoying, mad, pissed off, or whatever it is. It is someone who has such a lack of trust in the process that it went prior that I now have to build trust with that person in order for them to just get out of the way. And what ends up happening when someone doesn't trust you, what I have to do today, I had to take 20 minutes to write up an email, giving them like the details of like what's going on, et cetera, et cetera. Would have been nice if they would have showed up to the call on Monday, but it's all good. And now, as we're building this trust with them, I'll have to do those emails fewer and fewer and fewer. And this is something, another point of contact, which I was like, our previous agency, like, never did this. Like, would never respond and be like, hey, we'll talk about it on the call. But you gave the answers. And then I was like, okay, great. So speed of trust, you go through all of the different personality types. I absolutely love it. And it has worked. I'm not great at establishing the trust as much as I should be probably with like team members, but like I should say with business partners more than anything, but with team members and then as well with clients, I think it's been life-changing.
Can you give me an example from like the cards? Like what is it asking in like when you're doing that process?
I wish I had the cards right now. So essentially what you do is everybody gets together and then the cards, like it's almost like a game. Like the cards say like, all right, so today we're going to be going over, this is embarrassing.
Well,
today we're going to be going over the principles of credibility. Now, each person's going to go around and talk about how everybody in this room has showed credibility in a given situation. Sure. And then it'd be like, oh, Aaron, and so then I'd go first, like Aaron has shown credibility, which builds trust in knowing how to communicate with clients, what's going on, step by step, blah, blah, blah.
I guess to make this easier on you too, what did you do specifically with that new client that was from that book? Like you said, you met with the new client.
So I guess if we just want to use like the credibility thing, so essentially establishing credibility by responding to him, with the details of the strategy that we are in the process of implementing.
So for keep going.
And having conversation with other people like our Google reps in understanding the competitive landscape. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of the reason that they're seeing the success that they were with, or lack of success with the previous agency, is they aren't competitive. So it's just like the reason they see ups and downs is because when people run out of their budgets, then their budget starts to spend. So it's like, oh, we're having a really great week at the end of the month because everyone's out of budget.
Right.
Where now we're building our budget to the point where it's like we're competitive all the time. So you have consistent sales throughout. But it costs more money. But you got to do what you got to do.
So it was the competency part of it. Was there like, and the communication, right? You said, hey, just, it's funny that you said that, like as easy as responding to an email quickly and like taking care of needs. I mean, this goes back to business stuff. Like it always blows my mind that people don't do that. Like if there's an issue, fix it, communicate, let them know you're on top of it, or let them know that you're trying to fix it. And so I just, with that, was it those two things? You showed your competency because you had like the, you know, the Google rep and knowing how to play that, you know, SEO game, and then the communication. Was there something else from that book or the meeting that you had that like got them, or was it just the main two things was like the competency and communication?
What we did then, the other parts, the core competencies of credibility are establishing integrity, demonstrating intent, your capabilities. So obviously our conversations, well, one, our track record with other clients, which is also part of the credibility, results.
Sure.
And then, like just, I would say those were like the main things that we used in that one. There's like as I'm reading through the table of contents right now, it's third and fourth, fifth. There's just a lot of, and then they go through a bunch of different behaviors to, oh my gosh, I'm starting to remember the cards a lot more and then you go over in the cards too, like how we can better improve all of the different behaviors that enhance trust.
Oh,
so there's 13 different behaviors. I'm not going to go over all of them, but there's a lot that are going to be in another book that I bring up too.
Gotcha. Okay.
Stephen M.R. Covey.
Dude,
probably backwards.
It's not going to be the first Stephen R. Covey on this list.
I've been thinking about having that be a book that everyone on the team reads, and then I go, oh my God, it is like a lot of work, and I feel like especially the Keystone team already has a lot of trust, so I'm just like, maybe there's another book for us.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. My other book is a very popular book, Good to Great by James.
Oh, snap.
Is that one of yours?
Okay. I was trying to limit it to 4.
It didn't even make the honorable mentions. Yeah. Damn you, Alex. Sorry. I'm just joking. There's lots of books.
That's fine. I was looking through like my library today. I was like, oh yeah, that's a good one. Actually, it's great.
It used to be good. Now it's great. Good one, Alex. It's really good. Like, so the thing that I like about it, I mean, he studied a bunch of different companies. The stops of the book is he studied a bunch of different companies, and like the companies that were doing good and then obviously became great. And like, what were the things they were doing to cause them to make that jump? And it's the interesting thing about it, man. And it's funny because it's stuff we talk about all the time, which I'm sure is influenced by experience. And then maybe having read this, I haven't read this book in like 10 years, but I think the knowledge that you get from it and maybe just sticks with you. But a lot of it is the little things that you do the little things consistently that if you're doing them consistently, you can become great. So it's not just like, I have to be, perfect at everything. If you pick the things that you want to get great at, you're consistent at doing those things so that you can become great. Like I wonder if people are going to know. It's like going to the gym. If you're not consistent with going to the gym, consistent with your diet, you're never going to have great health. If you're not doing those little tiny things, I'll go back to business. If you're not doing these little things, like Alex, you just said, follow up emails and then following through on what you said you're going to do in those emails, you're just not going to be able to separate yourself from the competition, because the competition for the majority of them aren't doing those things. And so it's something that just as simple as good communication can take your company from being a good company that's average and kind of in line with the other competitions out there, takes you to being great. And so it's finding those little tiny things that you can separate yourself from the competition and doing them consistently that will completely change your business. And it happened, dude, it happened all the time with Honestly Clean. We would get the feedback of like, I love that when I call you, you answer your phone. So as simple as that, answering your phone. Like I would always answer my phone. And if for some reason I was on another call, I immediately called them back. And if I was on a call and they were calling, I saw them like on a call, I would text them on a call. I'll call you as soon as I get off this call. And it seems so simple, but as we've all experienced in life, trying to get something taken care of and you can't get a hold of that person, whether it's for a birthday party, a Super Bowl party, or you're trying to get something fixed. There's some plumbing issue at your house. You respect so much more and have so much, it makes you so much happier when you call someone, they answer, and you get the problem solved and you can move on with your life. So the good, great, there's obviously a million different things in there. That's the thing that I took away most from it, is being consistent in the smaller things so that you can become a great company.
Man, do all of the books that you have like essentially all just have to do with caring about people?
No,
No?
the
Okay.
next two
Like, I
have
feel like
actually the next one is the opposite of caring about people.
oh, okay. Is it The Subtle Art of Not Giving Up?
No,
No,
it's not it's not a business book at all.
Oh, okay.
It's
Okay.
the Old Testament.
My next one, speaking of the Old Testament and the people of Israel, that's not a good way to introduce this book. I should probably edit that out, but hey, here we are.
Is the Quran.
It's Viktor Frankl's time. Man's Search for Meaning. This is about his time in one of the Nazi death camps. The reason that I really like this book is not necessarily because I agree with all of his. Essentially, the point of this book is really what we're all trying to do is ascribe meaning to our life. Like we want to feel like we've led meaningful lives. Like that's what our quest is. What I really like about it is, obviously I mentioned that this is about his time in Nazi death camps, is one, that it's inspirational, and two, it's a good reminder that like you could always have it like way worse. And I know it's like you could always have it worse. Like it's very easy to just be like, oh, well, what about this thing or this thing or this thing? Like we really don't have that complicated of lives. So complaining about stuff, though maybe it is somewhat
Cathartic
in a sense, is really just a waste of time. So going back to like the speed of trust aspect of things, like there's also a speed in just knowing this is my why. This is like what I care about and what I am trying to accomplish. And then all of your other goals need to tie to whatever that why is. Business, your life, your relationships with friends, your relationships with your friends and family, the kind of dad that you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Know what that true north is for you. Like, it's a question that I would ask in interviews a lot to people. Like, I think someone gave me crap for. No. They do like this question when I interview it. Someone like literally left a Glassdoor review about one of my interviews because I asked them. It was like during the pandemic, like, so what has been like your most interesting binge watch that you had?
Yeah.
Just to get some color to them. Didn't like that question. But anyways.
Very offensive, Alex.
Like, all right, I could ask you a much harder question that will make this
I said
less
binge
fun.
watch, not binge drug.
Yeah. It's like, I guess it was, I did get hooked on opiates, but I love this. I really like this book. Other pro, it's 164 pages. You can get through it really quick. It's very inspirational. A lot of sad parts, but at the same time, like you walk away from the book being like, I feel better. We read this for a book club book at my company, and I think it was the least liked book. Not to make those people sound anti-Semitic or whatever, but like there is a little bit of like, man, this is like a little bit too dark for like a company, but I don't know. All you people are telling me that the United States is just 1 year away from being Nazi Germany, so maybe we should be reading books like this. I don't know.
Yeah.
Viktor Frankl, kudos to you, my friend.
Bien hecho. All right. So my next one is also a military. Oh, I guess that's not a. Yeah, it's military. There's during a war. Mine is Lone Survivor by Marcus Luttrell. I read this when I was at the call center. I had a friend that just is like, dude, this is a really cool book. You should read it. And it's the story who people don't know. They made a movie out of it, which it was a great movie. But it's the story of Marcus Luttrell and Operation Red Wing, where they were trying to take out a Taliban leader. They were caught. Lots of death happened. It was terrible. But the things that I liked about this, I've always kind of had an interest in like special, like operators, like Navy SEALs, Delta Force, stuff like that has always been very interesting to me. And the thing that I like about it, one of the things he talks about is he's talking about the training that he had to do, the Navy SEAL training and how hard it was. And then he went through this situation and he was looking back at all the training that he had to do. And maybe at the time, he was like, why do we have to do this? Or why do we have to do that? Like, this is like overkill. And he was able to survive that situation that he was in because of all of the training he had previously done. And it's just being prepared for whatever's going to come your way. Now, you can't be prepared for everything, but especially in business, be prepared for downturns, be prepared for angry customers, for angry employees. Have your SOPs in place. That's essentially what we're really talking about here. But that was one of the things that I just really liked, and like the power of just like perseverance. Like it's a really sad story, and that everything that happened. There's been some stuff that's come out that said a lot of it was, maybe not as real as it doesn't matter. It was real. It's real to me, damn it. And it was a really kind of inspiring thing to say. And there's the thing about this too, and as I was reading it, I was like, this is a really cool story. There's probably thousands, tens of thousands of stories very similar to this, where someone had to dig deep and maybe where it seemed like it'd be impossible to survive a certain situation, you survive it. My lone survivor story was losing the library and thinking my business was going to go under. Very pales in comparison to the tragedy that happened in this story, but just like there's situations that are going to come in your life that you're just like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I'm so screwed. But if you just take a step back and you kind of you analyze what's going on and you come up with some solutions to the problem, you can almost always fix the problem, especially in business. So it's not overreacting, it's being proactive with being able to solve problems. There's another quote that I have written down that I liked from him. He said that anything in life that's worth doing is worth overdoing. So this kind of goes back to do the little things really well and then become great at those things. So be great at whatever you're going to do. Just don't be the average guy at any of this stuff. But yeah, that is my book. My next book was the Lone Survivor, Marcus Luttrell. Good book. I'm sure there's a lot of other great books of that are similar to that. Go check it out.
Maybe one coming up. Next book is Radical Candor. It's about how to communicate with people, similar to Speed of Trust, but has a framework. This is like, the reason I like this one is it's short. like it's 200 something pages.
Yeah.
It's not just because it's short, but what I find with a lot of like business and self-help books is like, hey, guess what we're going to do? We're going to have a title, and then we're going to say the same thing over and over and over again for 450 pages. And you're going to like it. You're going to take it right into your eyeballs. But this one does do a lot of the repeating over and over again, but it does it for half the length that a lot of these books normally do it for. And the most important thing is about caring personally. There's a grid. I guess I could just show you guys, just like mom and dad it's probably going to be backwards.
No,
take a
it's
screenshot
good.
of that if you want to. But care personally and challenge directly. So the most important thing is you have to care about people, and then you have to challenge them directly, not, what's that word? When you're like indirectly, that's not the word. I'm like essentially passive aggressively.
Right.
You need to, this is the issue that we're having. Let's let's go about it this way. Challenging directly, I think, is very easy to do. What I think is hard to do is care personally, especially when you're thrown into like your initial relationships with people that you don't know. So it is important to establish that care for people at the very start so that when you inevitably are going to have to challenge them at some point, you're ready to go.
Well, you're coming from a place of caring as opposed to a place of anger, I guess. I guess
Like,
you could
I
still
want
be
the
angry.
best for you. Like I care about you and I want you to see success. Like
Right.
it all comes back to the end goal of those people, which ties into man's search for meaning as well, where it's like if you know what someone's end goal is, like what they're trying to get out of the relationship you have with them, that allows you to care more for them and then challenge them directly, where it's like, if this is what you want out of this thing, you need to be doing this thing, this thing, this thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Which means you have to ask questions similar to a book Aaron was talking about.
It's funny that you're right. A lot of these business books are going to be very similar themed of like, be good at communicating, be honest, be trustworthy. And it's, I don't know, man. We just always say that it's not that hard. Just be a good person. Just be a good person. I don't know.
It really isn't. Like we've talked about this before, like the number of, I feel like I just said this on a podcast, like the number of people who brag about the lack of either client calls or the lack of client communication they have with someone. I'm like, you are not building trust with them, and do not be surprised when that ends up like, because essentially what happens is that's fine and works until something bad happens. And then it's just like when something bad happens and that you don't have that line of communication and trust built up with them, they're just like, I'm out. See you later.
Well, it's like the example I use with that is we had a client, we had a great relationship with it. We had an employee that damaged an MRI machine, which cost, $3 or $4 million. We didn't lose the client. We fixed what needed to be fixed. It would have been easy for them to like let us fix it and be like, all right, well, we're not going to deal with you guys again. We're out of here. But because we had such a good relationship with the manager there, she's like, accidents happen. It's fine. And she was kind of a gruff person, like when we were getting to know her. And so she was the type of person that would have been easily like, you know what, F you guys, fix this and you're out, you're fired. But because we had that relationship, we were able to continue to work for them. And not only that, they opened other locations and they gave them to us. So that's, again, don't be afraid of having good communication with your client. And especially, like you said, Alex, do not be proud of not having good communication with your clients. It's absolutely insane to like brag about, oh man, I never got to talk to my clients. Like, that's not great. That's not great. All right.
Yeah.
My next book is called The Millionaire Next Door. It's by Thomas J. Stanley. What he did was he did this over, I can't remember how many years it was. It was like 10 years, 20 years. I should know this, but I don't. Doesn't matter. He went around and like studied millionaires. And this was interesting to me because you think millionaire, what do you think? You think, oh, mansion, private jet, Lamborghinis, all this like glitzy glamour, all this cool stuff. It turns out most millionaires are just your neighbor and you have no idea that they're a millionaire. I'm sure none of my neighbors know, and this is a number that I'm a million. Like because it also goes back to kind of what you were saying too, where it's just like, what are the important things in life? Like, are the important things in life showing off how much money you have and like letting people know I'm really rich? Or is it like taking care of family, going on trips, just being a good person in general? What was the thing that I liked from him? It said many people who live in expensive homes and drive luxury cars do not actually have much wealth. They have a lot of debt. And so just because, and this is probably good for a lot of people because there's so much keeping up with the Joneses or keeping up with the Friendses where you're just like, oh my gosh, our friends are doing so good. Look what they have. Look at you don't know how much debt they've gone into and how stressed out they are, or how the people that I have the least confidence in relationships are the people that are constantly talking about how great their relationship is on Instagram. Like where there's guys like, I've got the best husband ever. I got the best wife ever. And this is so great. And blah, 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 blah. Those I'm like, they're getting divorced in. It's just like, you shouldn't have to proclaim to everyone how great everything is if it's going great. These are the people that are trying to make you think that their lives are so great and you must suck because of that. But this is the whole book is just talking about that. Like, there's lots of wealth out there that you don't know about, and that's fine. So don't think that just because you don't have that super nice, this or that you're not doing well. Like, only you know how well you're doing. And the most famous quote is oh my God, it's so famous, I forgot it. The thief of joy comparison. Comparison is the
thief of joy.
The comparison. God damn it, what is it? The
comparison's the thief of joy.
Thief of joy. Okay, sorry. Yes, okay. yes. Comparison is a thief of joy.
I'll look it up.
No, you're right. I was thinking it was like the comparison of. Oh wait, yeah. Comparison of comparison is a thief of joy. And so that's what it is. If like you're constantly just trying to compare yourself to everyone else, you're never going to be happy. This can apply to business as well. If you're comparing yourself to your competition, you can learn from your competition and maybe learn what you can do better, but don't just be like, oh man, they have 5 trucks and I only have 1. This sucks. Like, just focus on you. And this goes back to what we said at the beginning. Focus on you. You got to focus on you. All right.
The only thing that matters that your competitors are doing, the only thing that matters is their pricing, if they're underpricing you. Like at the end of the day, like, and even then, it's eventually they're going to fill up and have a bunch of people. And there's always, my thing that I preach to people is like, there's always pie. Like, I know that, like, nope, there's a finite amount of GDP. Sure, none of us are getting to the $45 trillion. Like we're going to have like that big of a business, right? But there's always something there for people. This guy who just like quit his full-time job to start pursuing his own endeavors. Like I was talking, like that was like my pitch to him. He's just like, it just doesn't feel like it sometimes. It just doesn't feel like I'm like, go and talk to as many people as possible. And you will find them. Like I promise, like they're like, you have to put in work. It's not like all of these people are going to come to you, but you just have to put the time in and you'll end up being fine.
Exactly. Yes.
Yep. My last book and my favorite book and the one that everyone should read, Extreme Ownership by Jocko.
Oh, Navy SEALs. Yeah. Jocko Willink.
Like, one, the stories are effing awesome. So like the book is interesting throughout. Like it's way more cool for whatever reason. Like when you read the other books, like Viktor Frankl's all about himself. But like when you read The Speed of Trust, when you read Radical Candor, when you read Good to Great, when you read, I think that's why I like Phil Knight's too. Obstacle is the Way. Like they're taking all these examples from like a bunch of different things, and like some of them are interesting, some of them aren't interesting, and then all of Jocko's are just like, oh, that's fun. And Leaf, I should make sure I include him. It seemed like this was primarily Jocko when I was reading the book. If I'm wrong there, I apologize. But the point of the book is what I love the most. Everything is your fault. I've done a walk and talk about this before, and people, they're like, it's like one of the like more disliked ones that we've ever had, where I say like everything is your fault, but also that's okay. Like that's what we have signed up for. The worst people in the world, and these are the people that we bitch about the most, are the ones who blame everybody else for their problems and their mistakes. It is super easy to just say, my bad, go and fix it. When you are a leader, it is always your mistake. Whatever your people do, whatever mistakes, and I carry this into like what I do. Like if a mistake ever happens, it's never like, oh, I can't, sorry, my team member made a mistake. There's like, oh, it looks like we made a mistake, or I will look into this and see what happened here. Like it's never putting the blame on anybody except for yourself, because that also ends up building trust. Where it's like, this person's going to protect me. They just took blame for something that I screwed up on. So now they're even more indebted to you because you are the one who is willing to take the whippings for them. It's an incredibly powerful tool that, though I'm not perfect at, is like my guiding principle of like, when things don't go wrong, figure it out. Like solve whatever the problem is. It can't just be, this is your fault, other person, or anyone else. This is my fault for having confidence in this thing. I need to go solve that problem. Absolutely love it.
Take ownership, people. Take ownership. I love Jocko. I don't have any more books. We did 4.
Oh,
right?
perfect. Great. All right.
Yes.
Top 10.
Top 8? Oh, was there supposed to be 5? Oh, yes, top 10. Sorry.
Top 10.
I thought you meant top 10 books. I was like,
It's the top 10. Sorry, I should have done the noise. It's the top 10.
Yes. Okay. So this is very, very topical. What are the top 10 Bad Bunny songs? No, I'm just joking. Okay.
Oh my god! Oh, it was just like, and the first winner, first winner. I couldn't name one.
All time.
I better not be Super Bowls. If it's Super Bowl performances, okay.
No. This is like
I just read a list about it.
Extremely topical, so we should be good. The all-time best-selling and highly influential business books.
Oh my god. How to Win and Influence People, whatever the name of that one is.
That is right. Number 4.
All right. I'm going start with why.
No.
Oh, Simon Sinek, not crapping. He craps. We all crap. Everybody poops. Just ask my son. Okay. I don't think any of my books are going. Oh, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
No.
F, dude.
Don't sell yourself.
1 of 3.
Don't.
Radical Candor. Radical Candor. I feel like lots of people read this book. Oh my god. Okay, I got to lock in here.
I was like, think of what was on Dad's bookshelf.
I know, that's what I was about to. What sucks is
I can't remember the names.
I can do this. Zig Ziglar. Let's see what he's written about. I feel like I saw him a bunch. Rich Dad, Poor Dad?
Yes, that is number 2.
Did Zig Ziglar write that even?
No, that's Robert Kiyosaki. Which, man, go watch the YouTube video on that guy. Made me not want to read the book. So I got 2. Oh. Yeah, you have 2 so far.
2 of 5.
Okay.
So I have to get 3 of the next 5 guesses. God, this is like really hard because I don't read any of like the old school. There's one there's another Covey one that I literally don't. Can I just look up Covey books? Covey books.
Yeah, that's
I don't know
fine.
if that. Because 7 habits. 7 habits.
That is
highly
number
effective.
3, okay. Alex.
God, this is really hard. Business books.
I'll give you the only one I'll give you. It's one that you and I, either me or you, talked about.
Well, I've already gone through half of my books.
That I talked about.
Wait, the one that I already. Anyway, wait. Oh man, was it your last one? There's just no Good to Great.
Good to Great is number 7, Alex. Good to Great is number 7.
What?
Is that 5?
That like low-key blows my mind. That's a relatively new one, right? Good to Great.
But that was huge.
Good for them, man.
It was huge.
Yeah, 2001. Wow.
Wow. Actually, it's funny because you got 5, right? Oh, you're gonna keep going.
No, that's 4.
Oh.
I have 3 more guesses, I think. Honestly, usually I usually take better notes on this. I think I've made 7 guesses.
Because you got Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You got 7 Habits. You got the
one that 2 of yours.
Yeah, 2 of mine.
So I think I'm 4 of 7. Let's just say 4 of 8. And so I get 2 more guesses.
These other ones are going to be tough. I'm not going to lie.
Dude, I'm scared after the start with why one. Like, I feel like Simon Sinek would be on here. I'm going to just do another, like, because Simon Sinek's like huge, or maybe I'm wrong, but like, I'd say leaders eat last.
That is not on there.
All right, one more guess. And then if I don't get this, you guys got to comment down there. Man, really? Simon Sinek, dude. Dude, it's like, I like just don't know. Built to Last?
I thought, was that on there? No.
By James Collins? No.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, the first failing of the top 10. It's good. Look. It's all good.
Um,
Comment in the comments. You get the thing for free.
it's funny because I actually really like the number one. I totally forgot this book. I was trying to remember the name of it and I couldn't. All right, so number one is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. That's actually that's a good book.
Would have never got that.
Neither would I, because I couldn't remember it when I was trying to remember the name of that book. All right, so that was number one. Number two is Rich Dad Poor Dad. Number three, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Number four, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Number five, Who Moved My Cheese? Number six, The 1 Minute Manager. Number seven, Good to Great. Number eight, The Lean Startup. Number nine, Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion. And number 10, The E-Myth Revisited.
Damn, I don't know 4 of those 6 books.
I think Who Moved My Cheese was the only other one. I mean, I think it was like, oh yeah, I've heard of that book. But Who Moved My Cheese, I don't know why. Oh, it's because they made us read that when I was at the call center. That's why. Okay. And by made me read it, they told us we were supposed to read it, and I never read it. Probably should. It's number 5. But there we go.
I can't believe Simon Sinek wasn't in there. But first person to comment, Alex sucks at guessing in the YouTube comments gets the course for free. All right. Business advice. Got a couple doozies today. My business partner and I co-own a landscaping company. We've been in business for 4 years, did 1.417 net profit. We have 11 employees, 6 trucks. Here's where we're clashing. I want to grow aggressively this year. Add 2 more crews, buy a few more trucks, hire a full-time sales rep, move to a larger warehouse. My reasoning, we're booked out weeks in advance and turning down work. Demand is there. If we don't expand, we're leaving money on the table. He disagrees. My partner, he wants to hold steady and focus on improving margins and efficiency. He thinks that debt is risky. Overhead is already climbing. Margins are shrinking from 22% to 17%. Growth could hurt cash flow. He says revenue doesn't matter. Profit and cash flow do. I think he's playing it too safe. We're 50-50 owners and don't have a tiebreaker in our agreement. It's starting to create tension. So who's right? Grow now or optimize first?
Are we the tiebreaker?
I hope not.
I hope so. Well, I'm all about optimization. Growing is great, but if you can imagine how much better the growth will be once you've optimized everything, where if you get everything figured out where your margins are better, when you grow, you'll make even more money. Like if there's ways to cut the fat from your business, and you can, what do you say? There's 17% was their
margin. 22. It was previously 22%, but I feel like not knowing what their revenue was like the year before, like I would need all the numbers to be like, oh, that is you've lost a lot of money.
I just think it's better to get your company as running smoothly and what's the word, as efficiently as possible before you start growing, because if there's problems, the problems are just going to get bigger as you grow. But if you can fix those problems before you grow, then they're not going to be problems as you grow. You'll have new issues you have to worry about. That's what I would do.
I'm also like wondering if there's like some sort of like you want to add 2 more crews, buy a few more trucks, hire a full-time sales rep, move to a larger warehouse. Is there like not some sort of compromise in here where it's not 2 crews, like something that will make him feel more comfortable with the amount of money that's going into it, so that and then you can take on more jobs because you have the new crew, which is going to require training. But if your standard operating procedures and trading processes suck, and that's why you're starting to like leak money, then maybe that wouldn't be such a great idea. So,
but that process shouldn't take very long. You should be able to figure this out relatively quickly. Like, what is costing you guys money? This isn't something like, well, we're going to figure this out for the next 10 years of why we're not making as much money. Like, you're right, though. Like, it should be figure this out and then slowly expand. Like, that's what I would do.
Okay. My another business partner one, and I own a roofing company. We've been in business 6 years and did 3.2 million last year. We have 14 employees, including 3 sales rep. Here's the issue. One of our sales rep is our top producer. He closed just under 900,000 jobs last year. The problem is he's a nightmare internally. He ignores company processes, submits paperwork late, overpromises to customers, creates tension with the production team, thinks the rules don't apply to him. We've had multiple customer complaints because he promises timelines we cannot meet. Production constantly has to clean up his messes. I want to fire him. My reasoning, culture and systems matter more than one salesperson. He's creating long-term damage and burning out the team. No one should be above the standard. My partner disagrees. He produces nearly 30% of our revenue. We can't afford to lose that volume. Replacing him isn't guaranteed. Every sales team has divas. He thinks we should coach him and tolerate the personality because he brings in money. I think keeping him tells the rest of the team that production excuses bad behavior. What do we do?
I mean, how much money is he costing you in repeat customers because he's pissing off customers? So you have to factor that in. I would train him. Yeah, train him up, and then have those train him up with those SOPs that I'm sure you have in place. And if he's not a job anymore, but if you train him up, he should be able to adapt to that. I don't know. That's what I do. You train him, give him the opportunity to fix these things, and if he doesn't want to fix these things, like I said, how much money is he costing you in repeat business because he's promising things that can't be fulfilled on?
Yeah. And the only thing I would say is stupid is every sales team has divas. Doesn't have to.
Yes.
So
yeah.
Going back to like the training thing, that's the only thing I disagree with your business partner on is like, no, like not at our company. Don't no, we can train him and make him better, but this seems like it shouldn't be too like complicated. He doesn't sound I think you really don't like him, but there's nothing in here where like I try to read it with like rose-colored glasses or even just like reading between the lines. Like I don't see anything that's like he doesn't seem like an a-hole. It seems like he's just like trying to close as much as possible.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a great quality for somebody to have. Like he's driven. As opposed to like, so just trying to get this done. Just start following our processes, dude, and keep having that desire. What's the word? Keep having that grit.
Yes. Yeah. That's all I can really do. I agree.
Awesome. Well, thanks everybody for listening. If you want to submit your questions, you can submit those at unsexybusinessmen@gmail.com, and we will talk with you all next week. Thank you for listening to the Unsexy Businessmen. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a review. Now go get to work.